Yeah. Them boys crazy for getting on that submarine, bro.
Even if I was that person, the one thing that could never have me in this situation is my immense claustrophobia.
Yeah,
There's
bro.
no in my head. Originally, I wasn't picturing that. I wasn't picturing what that Titan thing looks like.
Oh, he's picturing something bigger.
Yeah, I'm picturing like a real freaking submarine that they put people on or put Navy SEALs on or put the Coast Guards that should use to go underwater.
Yeah.
And the more you look into this thing, the crazier and crazier it is. Yeah. This dude, and again, no disrespect to the dead. I don't want to disrespect the dead. But when we look at it, this guy, Stockton Rush, I guess is his name, he's really just a madman almost. Like almost, yeah. Since the news broke that they're obviously dead and that there was an implosion, which obviously means there was some sort of defect in the engineering of this thing or something. A lot of people that defend him or that are his friends are coming on saying, oh, this guy, his first thing was safety, this, that, about safety. There's a literal quote of him saying, to hell with safety. He literally says, if you're concerned about safety, you shouldn't even get out of your bed in the morning. You get what I mean?
My man's bugging.
They're perfect examples that sometimes you can have way too much money and way too much like time. When you have this endless amount of money in the world, it literally gives people the power to just do things. We'll do whatever they want.
Yeah.
There's 10 vessels or 10 submersive devices in the world that are able to go 13,000 feet underwater to where the Titanic is, right? There's 10 of them in the world. 10, including the Titan.
That one. Yeah.
9 of them are certified. Guess which one is the one that is not?
Well, oh my God!
The one in the world that they refuse to get certified, because this is a whole community. These people do this day in, day out. It's a real community. It's a real lifestyle. It's a real thing that these people do to find research.
Just for the chance to get a seat on that sub, because I knew it was it's a very rare opportunity, and I was actually on the second deep dive that Titan did in the Bahamas. The first dive Stockton did himself, and he heard the carbon fiber making cracking sounds, and he told us all before dive number 2 to be prepared for that. And while we were down there, he actually let me drive, and I feel a little bit, he wanted me to be in control of my own destiny, not that he knew there was risk involved at that stage. And at one point, I was actually even able to drive the submarine towards deeper water by the sound of the cracking getting louder.
Yeah.
And these people wrote Stockton Rush several times telling him that this vessel needs to be checked and needs to be certified and that it has to go through the official safety check that they do for these things. And he refused. He refused every time to do it. Okay. He's a billionaire. He's charging people $250,000 a ticket to go down in this thing. This wasn't the main, this tourism thing to go down there to the Titanic was not the main, his main goal or whatever. He was literally just using the money of this and taking people down there to further build his business and his research to find real stuff, which I respect and I get that, right? So he built this vessel, which obviously cost him, billions of dollars. He built this vessel and built this business in this program, and also he's an engineer himself. He graduated, I believe, from Princeton. They said in like 1984 with a degree in engineering or biology, whatever, And so he's not a dummy. But he is obviously very overzealous. He's obviously very daring. He's obviously, not very concerned about safety and things of that nature. But you can't take that attitude, that mindset, apply it to a company, apply it to a submersive device that's taking people 13,000 feet. For Sunday, when they descended down, they were only an hour and 45 minutes into the descent when they completely lost connection. And now the Navy is saying that around that time on Sunday, they heard an explosion. So more than likely that means, them boys, that hour and 45 minutes, and they blew up and they were dead instantly since Sunday.
Golly.
They said the trip to get to the floor of the Titanic takes about 2.5 to 3 hours into the trip. So if their thing blew up at about hour and 45, that means they were probably about a little more than halfway there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, in my head, I'm like, well, at least they died seeing the Titanic and seeing what they so badly wanted to see. But they didn't even see that shit.
There was a report about One of the kid, he's a 17-year-old kid on there. The 19, 19. And that they said that he was terrified to go.
Wow.
Terrified. Imagine. I was talking to Rachel about this. Imagine being terrified about something and you go down there and the exact thing you were terrified about happens. Bro, that has to be like hell, bro. Literal hell, bro.
Watching the news and the media and seeing everything the whole weekend and the whole week, I'm in my mind, like everyone else, thinking these guys are stuck. Since Sunday they're stuck. They've been stuck somewhere and they're alive, and the thing is just dead or stuck under the rubble of the Titanic, and they can't get up. That would terrible situation.
That would mess me up, bro. I could not be under there like for hours and hours in that small tight space, bro. That's how I thought it was. I can't be in the elevator for too long.
That's what I'm saying. And even a freaking elevator. And to go, you're talking about you're in basically a tin can with 4 other human beings in this tight tin can being controlled by an Xbox controller. You know what I'm saying? A Bluetooth Xbox controller.
That kid had the right to be terrified.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking. I was like, did his dad drag him on there, or did he ask his dad? Because it was Father's Day. Remember Sunday when they did it. So a lot of people were saying maybe it was like kind of like a gift. Obviously his dad paid for it, but it was like a gift for him and his dad together. But then in my mind, I'm like, maybe his dad dragged him on that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like,
he probably convinced him like, oh, this is gonna be great. Just come, don't be scared. Boom, boom, boom. Imagine going down there and like this nigga just terrified, heart racing, probably. That would be me, bro. As soon as I hop in and that goes into the water, bro, I'm like gonna be having panic attacks throughout the whole ride.
As far as the implosion, so they're saying like, that if that's what happened, it happened instantly. Like there wasn't even time for them to think or be like, oh, we're gonna die. Like it just boom, like which is, I guess you could say, is the best case scenario that you could hope for in a situation where they weren't gonna make it back.
Yeah, bro. Like, I don't see the necessity of it, man. Y'all keep doing research up here on land. I mean, I feel like we got enough from even outer space. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think we need to be doing much more out there. You know what I'm saying?
So what did you think? Did you think they were dead more than likely?
I honestly think this may be like a conspiracy or whatever it is, but I was thinking, I don't know how deep they were and how deep down like them killer whales be, but I feel like a whale hit it. I feel like it was driving and a whale seen it and said, yo,
like, boom,
and just hit it. Remember, this is around a time where like killer whales it's an attack on killer whales. Like they're taking revenge on ships and boats and all that.
It was funny to me that the news didn't mention that. That's what maybe, I don't know. I'm not no scientist, but maybe that's not a possible thing.
Yeah, maybe it's a far off thing, but I don't know.
Maybe it's crazy.
I'm like seeing, we seeing reports that killer whales are literally like attacking everything in the ocean, like boats,
them things are
ships.
Huge. That shit could have easily ate them niggas, or like you said, just slapped it out of the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they just went and bit it, or I honestly think it did something. It did something to it, and then after that, probably, you know what I'm saying, it. Whatever happened, or
implode,
and then it imploded afterwards. But I think like a whale is, especially if they're true about the banging every 30 minutes. Yeah, that literally could have been like a whale just coming back and just swimming and like hitting it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know.
Yeah,
but I ain't no scientist though.
And then like the conspiracy side, I was thinking, I'm like, man, it's like 5 billionaires on a device. Somebody must have wanted them boys there because they know, people about to get paid. You know what I'm saying? Because of the situation.
True.
You know
Insurance money.
The people in the family, and they're billionaires. Let's face it. If you're a billionaire, you probably got a couple people in your family that don't like you. They hate you because you're not giving them the money they want, or you're not funding them, whatever they need. Anyone in their family who's going to get some sort of benefit from this, they're probably just like, oh, thank God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
it's what it is. All right.
It is what it is. As far as this company, Oceangate, Stockton Rush's company, I wonder, like, what's gonna happen with them? Everybody signed waivers. That's an important.
Yeah, I was gonna say they probably got some crazy waivers. Like
the journalist that went, because there's another journalist who specifically went on the Titan, I think back in 2 years ago or so, and he didn't. His vessel didn't even make it to the Titanic that time. There was some sort of communication error, so they went right back up. But before he went in, there's a video of him, and there's like a waiver of 1,000 ways that you can die, of them telling you like, okay, you can die this way, that way, that way. You can die after you get off because you still got to sign it.
Damn.
But interestingly enough, I was reading an article today that was saying that these waivers might not do nothing for him, as far as like in the big picture, that sometimes these waivers in court, they don't really stand up as far as getting the company taking a hit.
I realize that this is their favorite way of making money, suing people. So they're definitely going to like explore the option of suing. I believe that. Like, you know what I'm saying? If they can get whatever they can from that company, from their family members' loss, they're gonna go for it. You know what I mean? But who knows? Who knows if they're gonna get something? I think they probably will get something from the company. But like what's left of the company since the CEO or the guy is gone? You know what I'm saying? Like probably just the insurance. They're probably just gonna attack the insurance of the company.
Whatever the insurance. I'm really curious to see like what are they gonna do next, because they can. This situation, 5 people, including the CEO and owner of the company, the engineer of this thing, him and 4 other people dying on the excursion. How do you come back from that? What do you build? How do you get people comfortable to go do that, especially for $250,000? Those guys basically spent $250 each to die. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
who I really feel sorry for is the Pakistani dude, the businessman, and his son, particularly the son, because like you said, particularly if this kid, he was 19, he just started his life. I think they said he just finished his first year of college. He was going for his second.
Yeah.
And if, like you said, he was already terrified to go, man, I can only imagine, bro. That sucks, man. It's the worst. But they kept saying, "Oh, 5 explorers lost their lives," and it's like, no, they weren't 5 explorers, dude. At most you could say 2 or 3 of them were. But that guy and his son, they were not explorers. They just paid because they thought they were going to safely get down to the Titanic and come back home. They weren't going to trust these people out here, man. A guy that was willing to risk his own safety, other people's safety, for just for the sake of saying, I'm going to venture into this world of engineering and of discovering.
And the Titanic at that, like
Titanic, like come on, dog, like we were saying, I don't think there's nothing. What are we learning from that? We're not.
Bro, it would have been better if they said we're going down there to collect something down there that could save human cancer.
And
you know what I'm saying?
That's what other people, or like James Cameron, the director, he's been on the news a lot today talking about it. He's been down there a lot of times because he directed the Titanic back in '97 or '94 when he made it. So him and his team went down there a couple times to look at stuff. Even that is at least understandable. You know what I mean? You had to do it for some kind of research to make this big movie that obviously went on to be the biggest movie in history or whatever. What is the point of going down there just to take a glance at the Titanic and come back up? 10 hours. Rest in peace to him, man. Rest in peace. And we'll see what happens next. All right, so this is Jay.
It's the Big Don, Alexander the Don.
Word. Pop up. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe.
For sure, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.